That's why I'm so excited about our next matchup, which is UNCC versus Syracuse. This has so many implications about what's going to happen in the bracket. Tell me a little bit about that.
You want to hear about that? Yeah. So all of Group A is basically determined. The first seed is determined, the second seed is determined, the fifth seed is determined, and the sixth seed is determined based on their current standings that we saw earlier. We'll show later for Group A. And now we have just the third seed in this fourth seed match, which is this one we have right here. So the winner of this will clinch the third seed spot entering the final bracket. And that might not sound like much, but it basically is determining whether you play Ole Miss or you play Michigan State, Georgia State, or Maryville, where some of those teams are probably preferable to Ole Miss.
Right. And that's in the second round, of course.
Yep. Yeah, first match we'll be playing against George Mason University, where kind of a tough draw. You think you're going to be playing a six-seeded team, the worst team there, and you're playing the winner of last year's tournament with a very similar roster, and you're like, I don't know how this feels fair to me.
And that's just the caliber that we have moving forward into this tournament, right? GMU has just, didn't really seem like themselves yesterday, and I feel like if they went home, had a good sleep, and wake up a different team, they could make a deep run today. It just depends on who shows up, right?
Yeah, Championship Sunday. Yeah, we already talked a lot about the UNCC roster. We showed the Syracuse roster a little bit. Speaking of, the same faces year over year, this is the oldest team at the event. I believe the youngest player is like 22 years old. We got two seniors and a grad student in their second year. This is their final year together. Had 2 years to kind of mend everything, so it really did seem like a culmination of all of that effort yesterday with their great performance. And if you're Syracuse, you want to carry that into this match, get that third seed clinched, go grab lunch with the boys, and then prepare for that final bracket.
Yeah, same team 4 years in a row. I mean, that's something that just doesn't happen in collegiate
synergy.
esports. It doesn't happen in any level of esports, to be honest. Just unbelievable stuff, the fact that they've been able to stick together. So this, as I think Bearlight was saying yesterday, might be kind of a last hurrah, a send-off into whatever their careers take them next. So,
yeah, you always like to have something like that. Yeah, UNCC, a bit younger. I mean, Coolio, Pludio, always there, always will be. Joined by a few, new faces. We did talk about Lazy. I believe, if I remember correctly, I'm trying to think of what team that was. It might have been Lazy was their first no, it can't be their first LAN because they played last week. Do you remember who that was? We had a player here from one of the teams that it was their first time ever at a LAN event. Not even competing at a LAN, but their first time going to an esports event. Unsure who that was, but a great storyline here.
Too many players.
Too many players, too many teams.
We need to start eliminating them. That's why we're here today. Let's get some of them out the door, and we can really start focusing on those storylines.
Yeah, I guess we could give a little bit of a preface on that as we load into the game, where once we're done with this, these final group play matches, the bracket is going to be BO5 single elimination.
Yeah.
So there's no longer the stakes are just, okay, well, we still have the tournament afterwards. No, once you make it to that bracket, it's all or nothing every single match.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one of those moments where you have to flip that mindset, right? It's not, this doesn't really matter as much. Oh, we lost, it's okay. No, it's win or go home after these matches coming up. And ladies and gentlemen, Boost on the Beach Day 2 has begun with our group stage. UNCC versus Syracuse. We're underway.
Yeah, we already are seeing the attack by Syracuse here. Patrick already putting a shot at goal a little bit wide. And I think that's going to be the name of the game for Syracuse, where it is going to be a lot of this quick offense, going full pedal to the metal. As we see Gav putting a shot on goal, Patrick behind it is able to secure that first goal of the game.
Already, Syracuse 26 seconds in, 1 goal to their name, and Patrick is the one. This is not the Krusty Krab.
Oh, yeah, looking like the chum bucket. We really just got to see what's going to be happening off the kickoff as we see another aggressive move by Syracuse, just full commit, already on UNCC's side of the field.
Lazy.
Yeah,
trying to get that deflect out. Yeah, trying to get that clear. But Gavilon and Mason Star making it a little bit difficult. Now finally going to get some movement over Knight. A nice center. Coolio trying to get it through. Get the equalizer. And they're still getting that pressure up. Knight with a nice center again, but Coolio a little bit off to the wings. a good positioning play, and Lazy going to be able to get back in time. Sweet rotation from them to be able to transition potentially here for an attack.
And that's where you really have to capitalize if you are UNCC.
Uh-oh.
As there might be an own goal there. And then that was 2-0 for Syracuse. The exact same thing I was going to say UNCC needs to do is capitalize on these commits and these transition errors from Syracuse. The exact same thing happened to them right there.
Yeah, what a snipe from Gavilan, noticing that UNCC trying to push up a little bit too far, caught him sleeping.
And now you're sitting into the scenario where it's like, how does Syracuse play with a 2-0 goal lead? Do you start, taking a little bit of a step back? It's only game one, but it's only a BO3.
Yeah. There's not much time to really, and that's also, do you start showing different hands, right? Do you start playing in a different way so that you can preserve some of your different plays for game two? With a 2-goal lead and potentially a goal 3, now you start having a conversation of how you play. Do you start trying to continue piling them on? You've got that 3-goal lead, or do you just try and burn out the clock? Only 3 minutes and 21 seconds left to go, so that is a lot of time, but not a lot of time in a best of 3.
Yeah, it is so unfortunate for UNCC there because the looks are so good. Like, Lazy almost had 2 opportunities to shoot on goal, and this might have been a 2-1 game right now for UNC. But it's just that one slip up, you might hit it at the wrong angle, and Syracuse is just able to take it back. Oh, I'm at half court, but there's nothing at midfield. I'm just going to shoot it, get it, roll in for 2 goals in a row. I've
been really impressed. Yes, there's been a couple of freebies going through, and
Speaking of freebies there.
That's an amazing attack right there. I've been really impressed with the way that Syracuse has been able to apply the pressure, right? Consistently trying to keep the ball out of their hands, but this has been a series so far of fast breaks and trying to take advantage of people being out of position.
Yeah, and I think that's really telling too. Syracuse had that 3-goal lead. Are they going to switch up their play style? As we see right here, they're still unleashing a relentless attack there. I mean, we're going to try to stymie you and waste down the clock by just shooting infinitely on your goal and triple committing on offense.
I cannot wait to see the stats coming off of this game. What kind of assault Syracuse is putting on Charlotte's goal here. Once again, continuing right off the crossbar, Julio Pludio able to try and get that clear. A little bit of aggression, maybe frustration, the demo down onto Gavilan, but it might be enough to try. There's another one. Wow. Back-to-back demos onto Gavilan to keep him out of the game. He's been a little bit too impactful, so we decided we know how to get this done. And now, 2-3.
Yeah, and that is what you want from your most senior player on your squad. Sets it up for Lazy by Coolio just going in, getting the demo right as soon as Gavilan respawned there, and it works.
Not even time to react. That was super well timed.
Hey, I know you're going to be right there right now. See you later.
Beautiful stuff. UNCC tried to get back into this. It was only a minute ago. It was 3-0, and now 2-3. They are knocking at the door to try and get the equalizer here late into game 1. Honestly, not that late into game 1. Just past halftime of game 1. 5 goals already.
Yeah, the defensive positioning here, it's a little wonky from Syracuse. It was almost like, no, you're going to be there to deflect that one. Oh, wait, maybe no, I need to be there. It'll be really interesting to see if there, that might lead to a mistake later on where someone might be double committing or there might be a 0 commit on a goal.
A shot on goal, Gavilan. Oh, no, that was a pass backwards, I believe.
Patrick able to, barely save it there. And Boost is not looking too hot for Syracuse here. That might be something that UNCC could take advantage of. We saw a shot on goal by Knight.
Utilizing that back wall very effectively to try and gain height and get this punched out, but Knight sending it right back into the mix. A good clear from Patrick, moving the ball down the field, and he's going to try and get some support from his team. That's Mason Star trying to put one by, but a little bit too slow.
And now we're seeing Syracuse have to adjust backwards on that rotation because they were kind of just sitting on UNCC's side of the field. They get a little clear out, that's just wasting time. The name of the game right now for Syracuse is probably to just keep up with that relentless offensive attack, but you don't even really necessarily want to score. If you get the goal, sure, good, that's great. But right now, they've already wasted 20 seconds on this sequence past taking the ball into UNCC's side of the court here. But you have to be able to defend there. We saw the double commit. That could have been the error that we were talking about earlier.
And now couple of demos going down. You've got to get this back the other way. 17 seconds on the clock. UNCC running out of time here in game number 1. An equalizer goal would be absolutely incredible for them. We could be going to overtime, but it's got to happen here. It's got to happen now.
Oh, maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there. I mean, both players from UNCC knocked into each other, and Mason should be able to deliver the ball to the ground, and Syracuse secures game 1.
I want to give them the benefit of the doubt that they were trying to go for some like super secret friendship pinch and shoot it off into the goal.
Yeah, bringing out like the DBZ.
Exactly, a little bit of fusion going on. Unfortunately, not going to be enough for UNCC. Syracuse going up early 3-0 in that game. UNCC fighting back, but going to be going down 3-2. So now 1-0 in favor of Syracuse. All they need is one more, and they will be the number 3 seed in Group A.
Yeah, and I think we know what the name of the game is for Syracuse. They were unrelentless in their offensive attack. In the first game, they were unrelentless once it was 3-0. I think they're going to continue to be unrelentless. And now UNCC needs to think about what we want to do with that. Do we want to just try to prioritize a lot of those fast breaks? Sound defense, try to get them on a triple commit or maybe just a double commit with, you might have that third defender a little bit, back off in a weird spot. Focus on just a low-scoring game off those fast breaks, or maybe they try to switch things up. Maybe go for a little bit more of a demo-heavy gameplay style.
Yeah, I'd like to see, especially with what you said earlier in game 1, there was a particular moment with Syracuse being starved for boost. I think if UNCC is able to do that, it slows down Syracuse's gameplay a lot and potentially could net UNCC a couple more demos, keep that pressure up, because that was what worked. That's what put Syracuse on the back foot.
Yeah. Ooh, and we do see the immediate shot on goal. Hey, Syracuse, you can't start on me. I'm going to start on you. Immediate shot on goal in the first 3 seconds.
That's how you get it done. Right? You start off, if you're able to get those early goals, and wow, Syracuse waking up here saying, oh yeah, no, remember when we were on offense? Let's do it again.
And we are seeing that, maybe a little bit of a cocky positioning there from Syracuse, where that last line of defense is only at midfield.
Yeah. That could definitely come back to bite them, especially with the amount of kind of freebies we saw in game 1, right?
Yeah, it really did feel like maybe like a 1-2 or like a 2-1 game, really, with just like, we just had a little few rollers in between.
And it sure would have been something to get that final power of friendship long shot to go to overtime.
Lazy all the way from up there, almost gets a little sneaker right in there, but Patrick's able to clear it out. Gets past Knight, but we're just going to be flirting at half court for a little bit here.
Already this game feels a lot more evenly paced between the two teams. UNCC starting to get their momentum going a little bit based on them really starting to pull back. I think if the game had ended at a 3-0, this would be a different feeling game, but the fact that they almost fought back to send it to overtime, they've gained a little bit of momentum, a little bit of confidence here early here on Sunday.
Yeah, it really did feel like UNCC just got socked right in the face at the beginning of that first game.
They're like, oh, dazed for a second, go down 3-0.
Oh, we do see Patrick with an open net here. Should have just been able to knock it in and does secure the first goal of the game. A little reminiscent of that first game there where you have that, maybe a little bit of a blunder on that rotation and you see one person with an empty net able to tap it in from half court.
Oh, that was from their 18. Yeah. I mean, that's the second goal we've seen from that far back from Syracuse. Just different offenders from those long strikes.
Yeah, and we haven't really seen much of the demolition play from UNCC, where I think Julio Pludio really can set up his teammates when he's able to play with that play style. We see another shot that almost goes in again.
It's a little bit slower in the little bit more backward posturing. UNCC was able to collect that one pretty easily.
Knight was able to get the demo there, but it mainly is just, let's reset a little bit, take some time off the clock for Syracuse's tempo. And we do see a little bit of an attack here. Patrick's just rolling in the middle there. Lazy gets the hit, assists Knight, and Knight is able to tie things up.
I think this needed to happen much sooner than later, just from a mentality's sake for UNCC. If they had waited much longer, then they start to maybe play a little bit more frantically, a little bit more panicky. But the fact that they've now essentially reset the score, we are now at 2 minutes and 40 seconds. You can essentially just, go back and you're good. You're good, right?
And it's the solid, like, teammate foundational play that can really turn the tide. We saw it in that last game, too, where they had the power of the friendship. Hey, I'll demo you right on respawn so you can have an open net. This could be the turning of the tide for UNCC.
Yeah, and to your point, that was all three touched the ball before it went in. No long ball, no luckiness about it. That was them working together and really getting that communication rolling.
Yeah, Patrick just flying across the entire field right there. Transitioning to another Syracuse offensive positioning. This might be a long one.
Oh, a little bump away. I think we'll take this one. Oh, but it still goes the way of UNCC's goal. But no problem for the defense now. And a big clear over to Syracuse's side. Patrick back to basically pinch this one way up in the air. Over to Coolio Pludio, a good center. This could be amazing. Oh, but the defense there, it just in the nick of time.
Yeah, but the offensive attack is not over yet. Coolio Pludio still sending it towards Syracuse goal. Knight has a look, but Lazy is behind him, even if you're not going to hit it. Oh, Patrick able to get a bounce off. It could look for something here if Lazy isn't able to hit it.
Coolio Pludio over to midfield, taken by Gavilon. And now Mason Star, the next one to touch the ball off the backboard. And in, no, a little bit wide right. Still not out of the weeds here just yet. Mason Star pushing this one back over to the corner. A good center, a shot, and that one's in. Patrick sealing it. 58 seconds left to go with 1 goal lead.
Yeah, it's really looking like Patrick and SpongeBob out there, where you're seeing the power of friendship split apart between Mason and Patrick, able to secure the goal to take the lead. And that's rough if you're UNCC. You finally tied things up. You had some good play, and now you're down to a minute where you have to score a goal here if you want to try to have a chance at clinching that 3rd seed in your group.
The moments leading up to that goal were so back and forth. UNCC looked like they were about to have a big assault on the net, and all of a sudden Syracuse with a really nice continuation from their reversal and transition. And are we seeing another long one? Maybe.
It was almost perfect where you got the demo, so he was able to just respawn right there at the back line to get that full court shot block. Lazy.
And Lazy gonna tie this one up. 23 seconds left on the clock. This is 2-2. UNCC needing one more, or at least to send it to overtime. And if they're able to win this game, they can send it to game 3.
20 seconds left.
20 seconds left. Lazy.
Oh, Lazy just going straight into it. I'm not going to let you get the step on me.
Wins the kickoff and then immediately goes and runs into Patrick, keeping him out of the play. Been too impactful.
Ooh, Coolio had a look there. It really is just going to look like UNCC's time to determine, are we going to get a goal or are we just going to go to overtime? I don't think Syracuse will have much of an opportunity to get a shot off on UNCC.
Ball's not down just yet, and now Syracuse on the assault, looking for a spike potentially, and there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, game 2, we have overtime.
That was a little scary there the last second, where I don't even think you wanted to touch that if you were UNCC.
Yeah. Completely agree, but now Syracuse with a goal here. The golden goal would send them into the number 3 spot here in Group A. UNCC still continuing to battle. This is a team that has continued to battle all day yesterday, finding wins and getting tons and tons of shots on goal, and it's just really no different. They've showed up today, unfortunately not with a win against Syracuse just yet, but that could all change right here.
Oh, that might have been something there. The bad transition once again for Syracuse. Maybe overcommitting a little too hard on offense.
But now flipping the script right back around. If he's able to interrupt, there you go, interrupt Lazy a little bit.
Yeah, but looking at that boost economy, there was just nothing there for Syracuse to convert after they got it that far.
But right in that moment when Lazy was getting all those touches, he was low on boost. So now this is an opportunity for Syracuse, even though they're a little bit low in this moment. If they can steal a couple away from UNCC, they can keep this pressure up.
Oh, Gavilon has a look at an open goal there. Ooh, Knight was able to take it out of that top left corner. And now we are seeing the bad rotation once again. You have to take it all the way back to your own side of the field because you were committed on offense.
Oh, and
Lazy
now
was
bad
almost able to
touch.
sub it in.
Might net something, but now we're going back the way of UNCC, so I really can't tell what the game plan for either team in this moment is.
Yeah, who needs to commit to defense if we're all 6 going to be in the same corner of the field?
Lazy gonna put that one through. UNCC taking it to a game 3. Wow. Let's take another look at how this happened. Mason just couldn't get down in time. And in that moment, Lazy gonna take advantage of that. And boy, oh boy, this is exactly what I expected from this matchup specifically. Both being 2-2 coming out of Saturday, moving into today, with the biggest implications moving forward between this matchup. I fully expected a game 3. I didn't expect us to get here this way.
I think UNCC has to be like the scrappiest team we have at this event. Went to overtime against WVU, went to game 3 against Harrisburg, and then had like one of the most insane matches of the tournament against Northeastern, where it went into the game 3 overtime, and I believe it was 5 minutes of overtime in that game 3.
Scrapping.
Yeah, scrappy, and that's good because that means that they've been there, right? They know how to play through that adversity, that heightened pressure, golden goal situation. They're not scared. I mean, maybe they were scared, they got a little chaotic, but they forced that energy onto Syracuse as well, because it really just did seem like jungle ball. Just 6 people following the ball at once, not really having fun.
And we were talking to Coolio Plutio yesterday at the end of the day, and he was asking us, hey, what happens if we win tomorrow? And we're like, you'll lock up the number 3 seed. Say less, is what he said. Say less. But this is exactly the moment he was stepping into. And we're just hearing word, actually, Maryville taken over. They were playing at the same time, taking down Michigan State 2-0.
Yeah, we can go into what that means strictly after this match.
Absolutely.
But that really does shake up the thing for Group B. So we'll talk about that later, but just wanted to get that update out as we just heard about that.
All right, game 3, ladies and gentlemen. UNCC Syracuse. The winner of this game moves into 3 slot for Group A to go on to face GMU. And then, well, yeah, we'll get into all that here shortly. There's quite a bit going on with Group B. But so far, UNCC really able to sustain this offense, the time of possession in their favor through the first 40 seconds. And that's what you like to see, Lazy with a nice third man in the back.
Ooh, yeah, and it really does seem like the teams are kind of taking a breath from that overtime here, playing a bit more slowly, a bit more safe here. We are seeing
kindergarten ball. It's kind of like, you called it jungle ball. It's like, it just seemed like all 6 were just like, we have to get this in the net. We have to chase the ball.
Yeah, now it's like, we'll just commit one on offense. If we don't get the shot, we'll do a defense. Let's take a little breather, guys.
Yes, now we're seeing a little bit more measured approach here as they've all reset. Of course, the coaches definitely, helping them out in those moments, going, all right, settle down. We've been here before. We've been to game 3s.
Yeah, and as we're saying that, we see 5 players just attacking the ball again. It might work out in Syracuse's favor here, though. We do see a good look. Gets the shot, gets the deflection, isn't able to convert off of it. Knight gets the save.
These shots, there was 2 shots back-to-back, like a little bit high, a little bit left, a little bit right. And finally, an assault Coolio Plutio putting that one just a little bit top right of the goal. But the offense is there.
Oh, is able to get over Coolio there. This might be a really good look for Syracuse if they want to commit. Looks like they have the opportunity. It's all up to Lazy. It is able to get that, quick deflection there, but Patrick on the other side could be able to set up his teammate there, but no, we're stacking 3 in the goal. We're not letting you score here. Shoot all you want.
Again, the bend don't break. Maybe put everybody on the goal line, the goal line stand here. Coolio Plutio off the top right, a double touch. Help from the team. No, Lazy a little bit further back. That's kind of the moment you expect to make that call. All right, somebody come in and help out with the follow-up, but nobody there for UNCC in that moment.
Yeah, hey, we're halfway through the game here. Let's kind of take up the pace here. And we haven't really seen that from either team here, like just clicking it on.
I think part of that is how many times either team, even in just this matchup, they've been spurned by playing up to a little bit too much. So finally maybe just holding back and maybe playing a little bit more reserved.
Yeah, we are seeing a little bit of a soft touch from Lazy there. Maybe not putting it where they wanted. Might have a good position for Syracuse there and just sneaks it past Lazy for the goal.
This back pass, absolutely perfect. Patrick looking right for Gavilan. and Lazy could not get there in time. He was there, just a little bit off timing.
It was just off timing on both of them right there. Coolio was right there as well, was almost able to get to the deflection like a half a second before. And now Patrick's just saying, we scored a goal, okay, I'm going to score another one right now, just right off the kickoff. Seems to be that Syracuse special there where it's just full-on aggression from the kickoff, but as that always has happened, it's been hard for them to rotate back to stop the counterattack, and Lazy just, you know, flirting right outside that goal with that ball.
Yeah, that's a big confidence booster for Syracuse, right? You've been basically through all of this, the first half of Game 3. It's been scoreless, and to finally get that small lead, of course Patrick's going to go attack right immediately. Like, yes, let's put the nail in the coffin right here, right now. Not have anything to wonder about. Still being within one goal, you still have some things to wonder about. You still have to make sure you're positioning perfectly with your team, and communication can be a little bit frantic if you don't have that comfort goal.
Yeah, and now it really does feel like Syracuse's thoughts on defense. Okay, we just need to survive. We just need to, you know, do a few rotations, get a few blocks, clear that ball out, and then just waste some time. We've already seen it happen for the full last minute. Only 1 minute remaining, and Syracuse still has that lead.
Now Gavilan here to midfield. Lazy coming up to meet him. Does a fantastic job on the 50, stealing it away. But the teammates of Syracuse are there to help out a little bit. And now Patrick pushing it right by Coolio and Knight. Knight finally off the back wall. Pass to Lazy. Gonna push this one back downfield. 35 seconds left on the clock. UNCC needing a goal if they want to tie this one up. Otherwise, Syracuse will be moving forward here to the number 3 spot. 23 seconds now. The assault on the net from UNCC is unrelenting at the moment, but a little bit of a miscommunication there. Coolio a little bit out of position. And no real good shot. That was a triple commit, and this is going to be it. Syracuse taking game number 3. 6 seconds left on the clock. I don't see a way where UNCC can pull this back.
Yeah, you were talking about the offensive approach from UNCC was unrelenting, but it wasn't efficient. It really did seem like the pressure was building, the players acknowledged it, and every time they had an opportunity to shoot, they took the shot, even if it wasn't the shot.
Yeah, and it did seem a little bit frantic. I actually think we saw a 3-pronged trident attack on that last ball, which opened up the entire field to get that easy go-ahead 2-0 victory for Syracuse University. Congratulations to them. That will help them get into that number 3 slot for Group A.
Yeah. And I think we were talking about it beforehand, not just us, but with the other, you know, talent as well, where looking at this matchup, I think everyone expected it to go to that map 3. And I think the players gave us a great match. It went down to that final goal, went down to that last second. UNCC had the opportunity. They put up like 5 shots in like 30 seconds. Like, it was there. They just weren't able to grasp it and tie it, but Syracuse was able to hold off on that unrelenting approach. You know, kind of sat down, had that traditional effect on defense, just, hey, just get it out, let's keep clearing, and was able to secure that 3rd seed.